Hey you guys, I am back with the book review for When It Rains It Pours. This is by Clara Allen. You guys know that I did the first book review for this book. I want to say it's been like in the past month or two. It was the book called To the Steamy Nights and Lonely. Let me see the rest of this before I go telling lies. So it was To the Steamy Nights and Lonely Mornings series, right? So this book right here is 175 pages. It's saying for me that roughly it should take 4 hours and 2 minutes based on how long I typically take to read, but that should vary from person to person. So in this book, it started off, it caught my attention from the beginning, and again, I had kind of needed a little bit of a refresher because it had been a second since I read the first book. So this is also the part where I'm going to say, if you guys did not read the first book, please don't listen to this review yet. Go back and listen to the first review, or at least just go back and listen to, or read, actually, the first book after you listen to the review, and it has persuaded you at that point to read the book. Go back and do that because I don't want to give out any spoilers, or I don't want to tell anything. Like, I try to keep my reviews spoiler free, but I don't want to say anything that'll basically mess up the book for anyone. So if you guys don't mind me messing up the book for you, I'm going to keep going. So the main characters are Terry and his wife Andrea. Now at one point Andrea and Andre were together. And as we know, that relationship couldn't have been more toxic. It couldn't have been more abusive. Andre had a way of not knowing how to keep his hands to himself and not, he just was not a good spouse for her. And I'm glad that she finally broke away. Now, when she did fall in love with Terry and they got married, I was hyped. Like, I'm all excited because right now, the start of this book, right now she's pregnant, and the book starts off with her being 5 months pregnant. And the problem is, although she has moved on with her life, the dreams of Andre are still haunting her. And it's just like, I felt bad for her because I just really felt like no one deserves to go through that. Like, here she is married and she's 5 months pregnant, yet she's still having a hard time moving forward from what she went through with this asshole Andre months before. So Terry is one of the most likable men, I feel like, in all of the books that I've read in a long time. He's one of the most likable men because he really was like a really passionate husband. He was very understanding. Something that I appreciated about him, or even, something I appreciated about Clara Allen was with this book, not only was there a lot of character development for Terry, but I appreciated the way that she changed the narrative when it came to men being, like, you know how some of these books, like, I feel like in urban fiction, I feel like you see a lot of the same tropes when it comes to men being either extreme drug dealers or extremely masculine to the point where they have, like, almost a lot of fragile, like, masculinity. And it's almost like to the point where they're like, if I'm not extremely masculine, it's just not going to work. But I like that Terry was able to show ways of strength as well as being vulnerable too. And I also like the way he was saying that although he was going through things himself, although he was having like nightmares and things like that, he was keeping it from his wife to try to protect her and try to make her feel kind of like she not only had support, but also like she could rely on him to feel protected. So I had liked that part about it. I'm trying to find my notes because I know there was one thing that had threw me off when I was reading the book. I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't even know. But while I'm trying to find that, I'm going to keep going. So there also is a part in the book where, it's very early in the book, where Andrea discovers that not only was he keeping the fact that he was having dreams from her, he was also kind of sort of keeping something that was meant for her initially. He was keeping it from her. Now, the way I feel, although yes, when you're married, you should definitely, consult with your spouse about this and that. Like, you should let them know there shouldn't be secrets in a marriage. But in Terry's defense, and that's why to me I really like this book, because it's usually I'm almost never defending some of these men in these books, because I'm like, oh my god, you are so shitty that it's barely hard to even like you. You're almost not likable. But as far as Terry goes, I kind of was really on his side in a lot of this. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me reading too much into the book or even overthinking it. I really feel like Andrea's like pregnancy hormones either took over, or she just doesn't really see the bigger picture, because she is on bed rest as well. Like, I should have said that from the beginning too. She is on bed rest. So some of the little things that like stress her out, or that would stress her out and possibly cause her to like miscarry, I think it was in her best interest, in their best interest as a family, for her not to know certain little details that he was withholding. The dreams thing was one of the big things. And it's like, I get it. Like, I get it, them going to like marriage counseling. I think that was really good for them. But I just really kind of wished like that, well, maybe they did have that conversation, because there was a part where they said they sat down, they had a conversation for 4 hours later that night, and they talked out their feelings. I just kind of wish that she kind of understood, like, although, yes, you do want to know what's going on, for the better wealth of our family, you just don't need to know everything right now. Now, I found that note that I was looking for, and again, this was kind of early in the book too. But what threw me off was there was a dream that happened early in the book, and then there was a part where it's now Terry, like it's Terry's part of the book, and he's talking to his friend Troy, and then he's talking to his friend Troy. But then it's like out of nowhere, like Andre like bursts in and like starts beating on him and crap. But then it goes to like a scene where that's when they were at therapy. I didn't exactly like the way that transitioned. Like, if it was like a retelling of something, I kind of would have liked to see it in italics instead, because it just threw me off a little bit. I didn't know if it was a dream that was being had. I didn't know what was going on at first. That was like my biggest thing. As far as spelling and things like that goes, I can honestly say I feel like this book was better edited than the first book, but it did have a couple of spelling errors. It was nothing that took away extremely from the book. Like, it was more so like little small things where if some people were like sticklers for spelling, like there was a little small thing sometimes where if there was supposed to be a quotation mark there, it'd be like a letter and like fingers slip. I've done that on accident before too. So you guys, it's normal. I feel like it, but it happens. It's there. So I wanted to be able to say that too, to make sure that I'm being honest about the review. But I enjoyed the book, and I even like to, okay, so this goes back to, I'm clearly all in for Terry. There was a line in the book when Terry said, I felt weak. I never wanted you to see me weak, and that situation had me weak. Now, outside of the like repetition there, I really did like him being vulnerable. Like, you don't really see that happening. You just don't see that happening too often. Now, let me get back to Andre and Kayla. You guys know Kayla is bad shit crazy, and that is the nicest way to put it. The way that she allows Andre to speak to her is so beyond me that it's not even funny. I don't even understand. I just don't get it at this point. The way that he speaks to her, like, he literally calls her all types of out of her name. And she's just like, oh, we're still going to be a happy family. Like, I don't even understand. I don't understand. Like, I get it that some of these people are, like, so in love with these toxic characters. But, like, there's just nothing good about Andre. And it's like, Kayla is so all in that she is trying to do everything possible to try to basically like defeat Andrea, because again, like, even still in this book, Andre is not ready to let go of Andrea. Like, he still feels like, even though she's married and stuff, that he can just come in and just, I guess he thinks he's gonna get released from jail and her mind is gonna change and this and that. Getting a little bit further into the book, there was a scene where Terry he showed his behind. He did something unexpected that really caught me off guard, and it's sad because this is going to sound horrible, and I don't know what's going on with me today. Maybe it's all the coffee I've had. Maybe it's because it's Monday, but in that moment, that wild thing that Terry did, I kind of was like, sis, you kind of deserved that little pop in the mouth you just got. Like, you kind of deserved it. And I feel bad that I feel that way. But there's just certain things you don't say to people because they just cut too deep. And there's no, like, I'm not going to spoil it, but it just was like, once you guys hit that point in the book, you guys are going to know, like, you're just going to keep reading. Like, so that's why I'm trying not to go further, because it's just like, I don't want to spoil anything. I really want to start trying to keep these reviews very simple to try and avoid any authors feeling like I have given out spoilers about their books. So that's how I am going to finish off with this review. Again, I liked the book. I would give this book, trying to see. So, to be fair, I would give it a 4 stars even, only because of the spelling things, or like the little misspellings here and there, and such as that. But outside of that, the storyline flowed, except for that one little hiccup in the beginning, that I was kind of confused on. But I really can't say too much bad about it. I will include Clara Allen's biography in the bio as well down below, so that you guys will be able to check her out more. I want to say that she does have a Facebook and Instagram, but maybe I'm telling stories. So once you guys finish reading her books, you guys can definitely go follow her more. It says that she was born in, I'm going to destroy the hometown, I know for a fact, Shreveport, possibly, I believe. So if you guys live down there or around there you guys go. But I think that's as much as I can say without ruining it. Now, the book was, let me make sure I'm telling the truth. The book was on Kindle Unlimited. You guys know how I feel about Kindle Unlimited. You can't go wrong with it. After you guys read the book, or if you even read the first book already, make sure you guys drop a review. Reviews help authors a lot. It helps to boost their rankings. It helps to give the authors a feedback on the book that you've just read. It actually helps too when it's a series. It helps the authors push out the next book as well. So I'm all for that. But that is all I have to say about this book, and I am out until the next review. Bye, guys.